and outs, especially hearing from apprentices. So thank you again for hosting today. I'm thrilled to be joined by my colleagues in the Healey-Driscoll administration, Secretary Tutwiler of Education and Commissioner Kershaw of the Department of Early Education and Care. I also appreciate that we have members of our Division of Apprentice Standards here with us today, including our Director, Lara Thomas, as well as Kristen and other members of the DAS team who help to stand up apprenticeship every single day. I also appreciate the support within the community, including Mayor Keefe of Revere, as well as our partners in the legislature, including Representative Giannino and Representative Turco. As we think about what we're celebrating today, it all started with thinking about how we in state government could even start expanded apprenticeship, and knowing where we've come in this administration under Governor Healey's leadership, we've been able to scale state investments in registered apprenticeship, and that's certainly in partnership with the legislature. So thank you for your continued support. And certainly to the room here today, we have FKO hosting us, but we also have partners who have been part of this early experience in early childhood education, and certainly FKO as that national model for out-of-school learning. You guys are the ones who have really leaned in. You've rolled up your sleeves. You've built programs from the ground up. You've seen those first cohorts of apprentices from start to finish, and you're continuing to dedicate how this model can be a true workforce strategy for building the talent that we know we need within early childhood education and education as a whole, starting with our earliest learners right here in Massachusetts. I often think about workforce strategy, as I need to as Secretary of Labor and Workforce Development, and a key ingredient to ensuring our success as a more competitive, equitable, and affordable Commonwealth is investing in opportunities to develop the talent that we know we need in our communities, as well as within industries. And that's investing in people, right? It's thinking about people that are already part of our workforce, or people that may be curious and trying to figure out their next path. And I think what's so special as we think about how a workforce strategy like apprenticeship can be within early childhood education and more broadly within education, it's such a critical infrastructure and key point to not only support that early experience of our future talent, but also providing the infrastructure that's so needed to bring more individuals into our workforce. And that is exactly why, under Governor Healey's leadership, we have been pursuing more and more opportunities to make sure that we are thinking about early childhood education as a whole. And I'm sure Secretary Tutwiler and Commissioner Kershaw will speak about that cross-secretariat collaboration. But I knew coming into this partnership with my colleagues in the administration, how could we look at what's proven and what can we do more to make sure that we are building the pipeline that we know we need in early education. And as we are doing so within state dollars, we're also thrilled to be able to add to that, and we're very excited today to announce that we have won a $6 million grant for early childhood education registered apprenticeship programs here in Massachusetts. This funding will provide grants to train and place 275 early childhood educator apprentices. We've been able to see some of our apprentices complete graduation, continue as journey people within the field, and this is going to open up more doors for 275 more individuals in this field. It's also going to support the launch of a new 3-year apprenticeship initiative that our team at DAS will be leading in collaboration with EEC. We're establishing a statewide intermediary to help scale and sustain programs, especially in areas where we know are childcare deserts in the Commonwealth. And our team within the Division of Apprentice Standards will be offering technical assistance to employers and partners within our different grant awards to support the recruitment, implementation, and long-term planning for these proven models within early childhood education. This is the largest grant that our apprenticeship team has received to date, and it is significant. And it's amazing that this investment is going to expand registered apprenticeship in a field like early childhood education for all the points that I've already emphasized. We know that expanded apprenticeship builds on a proven model. We've seen it work for centuries with our carpenters, pipe fitters, electricians, plumbers. We know that through the examples that we've seen today, through the apprentices that we're now site leaders here at FKO, this can also be a model that we look forward to scaling. It provides that technical training, that on-the-job training, and leads directly to a career in an industry, benefits, wages, and certainly a career path to continue to grow within the field. We know that there's also huge opportunities within early childhood education. As we look back in the last few years alone, in partnership with the Executive Office of Labor and Workforce Development and our apprenticeship team and EEC, we've been able to register 8 early education apprenticeship programs, working with employer partners across the state, enrolling or registering 500 individuals in roles like early childhood educators, child care development specialists, and preschool administrators. That's amazing. That means 500 jobs in early childhood education, because apprenticeship is a job and it creates great opportunities to help support this industry. So I'm thrilled to be able to know that this model is working. We have partners in this room and around the Commonwealth that we will continue to team up together to put these dollars to work, to create more jobs that will not only provide a career path for our educators, but also unlock the infrastructure that we know is so needed, because you guys are then helping to open more doors and opportunities for quality education and care that then also helps the workforce that is looking to make sure that they have that trusted resource to support their families as they also go back to work or look to pursue strong careers right here in Massachusetts. So we are so excited today in Massachusetts to celebrate this. I'm even more excited to know that as Governor Healey and Lieutenant Governor Driscoll always emphasize, it takes a team to make all of this a reality. And I'm thrilled to be able to do this alongside Secretary Tutwiler and Commissioner Kershaw. At this time, I would love to invite Secretary Tutwiler to share some remarks as we celebrate this big news today. Thank you.
Good morning. Come on, somebody told me this was a celebration here.
Good morning.
Come to a long place. Good morning. Thank you, Teammate Jones, if I can affectionately call you that, for that wonderful introduction. Thank you to Deborah and to Brianna for all the work that you do with team and family FKO, and for hosting us this morning. Incredible things that we saw as we took the tour. Thank you to Mayor Keefe for all the work that you do supporting the work that happens here, and we always appreciate our deep relationship in the legislature. Thank you to Rep. Giannino, to Rep. Turco, the only person to whom I am second in height. I always appreciate being in community with you, good sir. But I'm excited with you to be here to celebrate this really important announcement, and also the important opportunity to hear from current apprentices and past apprentices. I was listening intently as people were talking, but I was also watching the slideshow over there, and just amazing. Really, congratulations to you all and continued success. Again, my name is Pat Tutwiler. I have the great pleasure of serving as your Secretary of Education. I also have the great privilege of being the co-chair of the Governor's Child Care Task Force, along with Secretary Jones as a co-chair, and in close partnership with my friend and colleague, Commissioner Kershaw. One of the really wonderful things is being able to say with confidence and with deep belief that this administration prioritizes early education and care, after school experiences for students, out of school time experiences for students, and it's made it, again, a top priority to make these experiences affordable and accessible to all families. And I think today's announcement really aligns with that commitment. I don't think I need to convince anybody in this room about the importance of the years between birth and age 3 in terms of a child's learning and development, but also the importance of after school and out of school time experiences in terms of development and enrichment. This $6 million, I had five, but it's six, I'll take the six. $6 million, we can just keep adding to it, it's just fine. The $6 million investment by the U.S. Department of Labor will strengthen this entire sector by investing in the very people who are doing the hard work with and for students and their families every single day. Earlier this year, the Healey-Driscoll administration released a report as part of the work of that child care task force. It highlighted 31 recommendations. One of the areas of focus was finding new strategies around recruitment, training, and retaining the very educators who are doing this important work by expanding apprenticeship initiatives, expanding opportunities in higher education and training opportunities. And I can say, and I'm happy to report, we've made progress. Increasing educator compensation by almost 20%, reducing the number of vacant positions, and adding more child care seats and opening more programs. This federal grant that was just announced will be a big boost in that work. We know that apprenticeship programs are vital to building sustainable, well-qualified workforce by providing paid, important, on-the-job training, mentorships, and classroom learning. These programs, as we heard upstairs, improve skills and help students work toward credentials and also benefit the employers by providing customized training and increased retention. The work continues, but this is really a big boost. This will benefit countless families and the individuals who depend on affordable, accessible child care each and every day. I want to end with a note of gratitude, just as I began, to the educators who are here today. Thank you for the work that you do with and for families each and every day. You don't hear this enough. I appreciate you for all that you do. And now is my... It is my privilege to turn it over to a champion, a warrior for early education and care, Commissioner Kershaw.
Thank you so much, Secretary, and Secretary Jones, too, and Brianna and Debbie and your whole team for hosting us today. I am brimming with joy and pride. I just am feeling it, looking at my team, and Secretary Jones, looking at your team from Division Apprenticeship Standards. The work we've done 3 years ago. We were staring down a pretty significant challenge in the early education and care workforce. We still have that challenge, but we recognized that we were not going to be able to turn things around economically for the Commonwealth in the Healey-Driscoll administration if we weren't able to tackle some of the workforce challenges, which were the presenting primary issue in early education and care. And we recognized that apprenticeships could be a really good model for this workforce. We have adult workers, we have people incumbent in the field, we have folks who want to grow, who love kids, who didn't see it as a career pathway. And apprenticeship seemed like a great match. We had a tiny handful of programs that were calling themselves apprenticeships, but they led to 3 different directions. They weren't formally connected to the workforce system and the very rigorous standards associated with registered apprenticeships. And we thought, if we want to professionalize this field and give people in the field or coming into the field professional opportunities for career growth and change, we need to figure out how to make apprenticeships apply in early childhood. We knew the model for trades, and we knew the success it could have. But we also knew there was going to be unique challenges to the early education and care sector. The wages in our field, the programs, the employers, and a set of magical partnerships emerged from our community-based providers, many of whom are represented here today, to our legislature and our local elected officials in municipalities who said, let's figure out how to do apprenticeships. And we sat down and pulled up our sleeves, and I am so grateful for the EC team who is here today, Sarah Volkanot, who led this work for us when we first convened a group of people like, how could we do apprenticeships in early education and out of school time? And 3 years later, it is now the largest growing sector for apprenticeships across the Commonwealth, and we are celebrating the largest grant ever to the Division of Apprenticeship Standards in early education and out-of-school time. And we just had the opportunity to spend time with educators working at FKO who are in the first ever national full-time apprenticeship program, and 3 of whom just got promotions. and I heard that there were 6 sites that were shut down following the pandemic, and they just opened up 7 new out-of-school time sites, and the pipeline of leadership for those sites is coming from the apprenticeship program. So again, starting with the brimming with pride and joy about what we collectively have been able to accomplish, professionalizing the workforce, thinking about you all and your careers as growth. And the really magical thing about early education and care and out-of-school time apprenticeships is that we help 2 sets of groups. We want the economic mobility of our educators and the work you're doing every day to be lifted up and to be successful. And we're also enabling all those other families to pursue their economic mobility goals and to go back to school or increase their education or take on new work because there are places for their kids to go. And we know we have a huge challenge in out-of-school time in terms of capacity. So what we're doing through this apprenticeship program in partnership across state government with our local leaders, and now welcome federal, welcome our federal partners, and with our state legislators. So thank you so much for having us, for the pioneering work, and to the educators for what you're doing to blaze the path for those who are going to follow. I know one of the key elements of the success in early education and care, and one of the big changes we've had to sort of embrace as we create an intermediary, is the mentoring. So I also want to recognize not just the educators, but the mentors who are standing behind all of you every day to make sure that you succeed. So thank you to the EEC team. Thank you, Kristen and Laura, to your team, and Secretary Jones and Secretary Tutwiler for making sure that all across government early education and care gets to the top of the agenda. So thank you so much. It is my great honor to introduce one of our most magical partners, Brianna Flaherty, Deputy Director here at FKO. Thank you for all your leadership and partnership, and welcome to the mic.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Secretaries, Commissioner, local, state elected officials, and all of our partners, colleagues, and guests here today. On behalf of For Kids Only After School, we are so excited to celebrate today's announcement and the investment that the state of Massachusetts is making in the early education and out-of-school time workforce. This grant recognizes something that we know to be true. From early childhood classrooms to out-of-school time programs, dedicated educators play a vital role in shaping the growth, confidence, and success of every child that we serve. At FKO, as has been mentioned, we are very proud to pioneer the first registered out-of-school time apprenticeship in Massachusetts. This program creates a true earn-while-you-learn pathway, giving educators the chance to build skills, advance their careers, and be recognized as professionals. The work our apprentices are accomplishing each year is truly extraordinary. 150 hours of rigorous, skill-based training, participation in monthly communities of practice sessions, a safe space to share best practices, support one another, and put their learning into action. Portfolios, written reflections, and countless lesson plans and activities being developed for the children they serve. Regular meetings with their mentors and supervisors, and ongoing assessments of their skills and competencies. Through this process, we can proudly say that upon completion, each apprentice will demonstrate proficiency in 30 skill areas and 82 competencies for after-school educators. And alongside this training, they will have completed more than 2,000 hours of on-the-job learning, positively impacting over thousands of children who attend our programs at FKO each day. We've already seen our apprentices complete their program, and some step into leadership roles, deepening their professionalism, and most importantly, bringing even greater quality and consistency to the children and the families who we serve. This grant will allow us and all of our colleagues in the early education and out-of-school time space, many of whom are here with us today. Thank you for your friendship and guidance and support to expand these opportunities, reaching even more educators across the state and ultimately more children and families who need our programs. But the best way to understand the impact is not from me. It's from the voices of those who are living it. And so I'm honored today to introduce Maria Marchetti, one of our remarkable apprentices, who will share her journey of how this program has helped her as both an educator and a professional.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
In January 2023, I found myself at a crossroads. I had just lost my job, and as a single mother, I was filled with uncertainty. At 33, I felt the pressure of not knowing what direction my life or career should take. But everything began to change in February 2023 when I came across a job posting on Indeed for a group leader position at 4 Kids Only. My son attended the program, and I immediately felt a connection. I applied, interviewed, and was offered a position. I started as an assistant group leader. On March 6, 2023, I officially began my role. Over the next 6 months, I dedicated myself to learning the ropes. That dedication paid off when I was promoted to group leader. It quickly became clear that this was more than just a job, it was a career that I am searching for. Working with children brings me genuine joy. I look forward to seeing their smiles every day and creating fun, safe, and enriching experiences for them. I've told my district director, Nick, many times how much I love this job. It's truly my calling. Not long after settling into my role, FKO introduced the apprenticeship program. At first, I was hesitant, but I took the leap, and I'm so glad that I did. The early sections of the training program, especially those on development and educational theories, reinforced what I had learned in a previous college course. I took extensive notes, not just for myself, but so I could support my fellow apprentices when they needed help. I wanted to make the most of this opportunity and ensure that I had the tools to succeed. Through the apprenticeship, I gained invaluable insights into working with children who have ADHD, as well as those supported by IEPs and 504 plans. In fact, learning about 504 plans directly helped me advocate for my own son's needs at school, an outcome I'll always be grateful for. I also learned practical day-to-day strategies, like the power of greeting a child at the door to set a positive tone for their day, how to build self-esteem, and how to approach challenging or attention-seeking behaviors in a supportive way. The importance of family engagement and community connections also became clear. When families and educators work together, children thrive. One of the most impactful parts of the apprenticeship was having my mentor, Jenny, who also happened to be my site director. Though I had only worked with her for 1 school year, she made me feel seen, supported, and welcome. Our monthly check-ins were a safe space for honest feedback, reflection, and growth. Having a mentor I could truly trust made all the difference. This apprenticeship has made me a stronger, more thoughtful, and more capable educator. I believe more programs like this should be available statewide, and I'm so happy to see that happening. The knowledge I have gained has not only helped me grow professionally, it's empowered me to better support the children I care for every single day. And at the end of the day, that's what matters the most. Thanks to the support of the incredible team I've worked with since joining 4 Kids Only after school, as well as the professional growth I've experienced through the apprenticeship program, I've been able to take the next step in my career and have been promoted to start next week as a site director at a new location in Chelsea. I'm excited to continue my journey within the out-of-school time field, and I look forward to sharing my knowledge with a new team and building strong connections with the children and families we serve. I will continue to bring the same level of joy, support, and positive impact to this new community that I have since day one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria. It's great to see the people power behind what we do every day at the Division of Apprentice Standards. Hi, I'm Laura Thomas. I'm the director of the division. I'm joined by Kristen Burrell and Cooper Leonard, also from the division today. And I have to say, to all of you remarkable educators, like, there are people like me, my daughters are grown, but I wouldn't be here if it weren't for dedicated out of school time educators where I could entrust my children when I went to work. So there's a real ripple effect to this, and I hope you guys know you're not getting something, but you're giving a lot too. So thank you guys for that. DAS as a division is responsible for helping employers of all sizes to attract, retain, and attain talent by overseeing registered apprenticeships and pre-apprenticeship programs. The success of registered apprenticeship as a workforce development tool, as you've heard from other speakers, is based in the trades, right? For hundreds of years, they've been getting it right. So with the significant support of the Healey-Driscoll administration, we've succeeded in enrolling more than 1,900 apprentices into what we call expansion industries, right, beyond the trades, making that workforce development tool work in other fields like education, healthcare, IT, manufacturing, and the life sciences. So 1,900 since 2023, and onward and upward with this grant. More employers, more occupations, and more apprentices all mean more robust talent pipelines, as you're seeing evidence of here today, for employers and job seekers, and then enhanced economic mobility for job seekers as well. Creating opportunities for people to learn by doing along a seasoned mentor and to earn money while doing it is almost a no-brainer, we like to say. It kind of sells itself. But I know my partners here from EEC, from other programs, will say there is some assembly required, right, to get it right. So that's where DAS comes in. And our team of 22 professionals is here to help from your first notion that you may be considering having a program, through enrolling your first apprentices, through assuring quality throughout the life of your program. We are here to help. So we've got the people power, but we've also just developed a new Salesforce-based registration system. Doesn't sound exciting, but we're really excited about it. And that will make registering programs and apprentices even more intuitive and efficient, starting in days. We promise, in days it's starting. So as we celebrate this achievement today, I'd like to acknowledge our active early childhood educator registered apprenticeship programs that have really been pioneers in Massachusetts. A lot of them are represented here today. We have Family Services of Central Mass, Community Daycare of Lawrence, Neighborhood Villages, YMCA of Greater Boston, Mass Hire Greater Brockton Workforce Board, Bunker Hill Community College, and then our wonderful host, 4 Kids Only After School. I am so proud that many of these partners were showcased at least 2 that I know of national conferences in the spring, where our efforts in the Commonwealth were featured as a blueprint for other states to look on. It was a really proud moment. So thank you all to our current partners who have really paved the way for, and thank you for your overall support of registered apprenticeship and its growth. So before we close out this morning, I'd like to invite Mayor Patrick Keefe to say a few words. Yeah?
Thank you, and it looks like I'm here to bring it home. So, without being redundant, I did want to thank, of course, Secretary Tutwiler, Secretary Jones, Commissioner Kershaw, Rep. Turco, Rep. Janino, and most importantly, Deb and her family, and her first apprentice, her daughter Brianna. When it comes, everyone here behind me, in the Healey-Driscoll administration should pinch themselves, because they have some great leaders in these departments. Whenever it comes to kids, whenever it comes to education, whenever it comes to schools in the Commonwealth, there's really, very really a no. And we know that firsthand in the city of Revere, and we're very fortunate. This program is going to provide jobs for people that are in this audience, and something struck me, because I know that changing your career can be very scary. And I was talking to a young woman who worked in the restaurant business, and I worked in the restaurant business, and we used to see people come in all the time and recruit our talent, because they knew working in a restaurant is very difficult. Long nights, weekends, and you get some of the best workforce. But we also knew that they were captive, because having children or having to work flexible hours and knowing that you could make a pretty good amount of money in a short period of time was very lucrative, and it was tough to leave. It was tough to take that big step, to take maybe a step back, to take a step forward, whether it's in a job in education or the trades. So I really applaud this group for setting this standard with the apprenticeship program, because you helped lessen that burden to make sure people can enter this workforce and start a new career. People that have children, moms, young adults, or people that just can't burden themselves with student debt. So this is an amazing program, and I know it's going to continue to help our workforce. We're opening more early childhood seats in the city of Revere. We're renovating the McKinley School. That's going to be open in about 2 years. The first thing we thought was not how we build it. We knew that that was going to be a barrier to make sure that we could build the facility and put it up to the standards we need. We knew we were going to have the classrooms and the funding, but we were really concerned about having the educators. And that was going to be the biggest hurdle for us. So these types of programs are going to make it a little bit easier for us. And I can't thank Deb and Brianna enough, because, and the group, and the rest of the group that's here today, you are pioneers. You're early adapters. You always have been. And I'll wrap it up with, my wife was a student of 4 Kids Only in Winthrop. And her fond memories were so good because she had 2 parents that worked 2 jobs each. One of them was in the hospitality industry as well. So going home was going home with her brother at 10, 11, 12 years old. And being able to go to after-school programs and making sure they got what they needed was super important. My wife's a pretty good person, and I like to think it's because of some of the people that helped her along the way. So I don't know what you do in this room here, but every time I come in here, I feel better about myself. Congratulations, and thank you so much for the award. It's going to go a long way to the Commonwealth, so congratulations.